Good evening, Felix.
Good evening, teacher.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Good, thanks for asking. Long time no see you.
Yes, teacher. I overtime and I the driving at my home and the parking, the gas station, the connect.
How far are you from home right now?
Metrocentro across from.
I couldn't hear the rest, Felix. I just heard that you are across from Metrocentro.
I the base parking Aeroman. The driving at home, foreigners street. Next, connection the 29th Avenue and finish the connect Troncal del Norte at home.
Okay, good. So, well, Felix wasn't in class yesterday, Roberto was, but I guess the other ones are going to join us later. I know that it's not your fault because you have been working overtime, so that's sometimes hard for you to be on time or to try to be in class. But I was checking, for example, Marlon was trying to enter, but I click on accept, but he never entered. So I guess he has problem with connection. So let me check if I can text him just to see if he can try to enter again. All right. So what we had yesterday for Felix, just a little bit. Roberto, do you remember what we had yesterday in class? Your microphone, Roberto?
Yes, we was talking about the use of if and when to connect both uh, expression. I don't know. Yeah, the use of both if or when the phrase begin with when. Both are used to both. We have to use simple present. Yes. When we start to talk with when, we use a comma, or we start to talk with if, we use a comma in the middle of the expression. And one is for true, facts, or real, I don't remember. And the other is to, I don't remember the phrase, but it's let me see you. I don't remember picture. I say another about, but that's the idea. I don't listen.
Was it reactions? No?
Yeah, reaction.
Okay, good. So you are totally right, Roberto. What we had yesterday was zero conditional. You have four conditionals, and they are called zero conditional, first conditional, second conditional, and third conditional. So every conditional is expressing something different. For example, zero conditional is different from first conditional. Second
Yeah.
conditional is totally different. So what is the difference? Easy and simple. Zero conditional is just to describe things, as Roberto was saying, like general truths, um, facts,
Fact and reason.
and results or reactions. So this is the way they use zero conditional. So zero conditional is real. In other words, it is what happens if you do this, or what happens if this happens one day in your life. What happens? What is the reaction? So we are not talking about the future. We are not talking about hypothetical situation. No, this is real. This is real. What do you do in this situation? So as Roberto was saying, we can use if or when. What do you do if you don't understand something in English? What do you do when you don't understand something in English? The meaning is exactly the same. Now, Constantino, can you switch the position of the sentences? Because I have two sentences. In one sentence, I'm saying, if I don't understand something in English, I ask my friend. Can you switch positions?
Yes,
How do you
uh,
say it?
yes, you can change the position in the sentence.
How would you do it in that case if I say, if I don't understand something in English, I ask my friend? How would you change the positions?
Um,
I repeat it.
uh,
If I don't understand something in English, I ask my friend.
uh, the change I ask my friend if I understand English.
If I understand or if I don't understand.
If I don't understand English.
Something in English. Okay, so you are
Mm.
right. You only switch the positions. I ask my friend if I don't understand something in English. Now, Roberto, the meaning is the same or different?
The same.
Exactly. What is the only difference, Constantino, when you change positions?
Is the comma.
Perfect.
Uh,
You use a comma when you start with if, or if you
mhm.
start with when, you need to use a comma between the two sentences. So let's see, Marlon, good evening. Omar, good evening.
Good evening,
Um,
teacher.
Marlon, what do you do if you are stressed?
I listen to music. I take a nap. I watch a little videos on YouTube.
Now, can you give me the complete sentence using if?
Uh, if I be stressed, or
I, mhm.
if I am stressed, I listen to music.
Perfect. Can you switch positions?
Uh, I listen to music when I am
Stressed.
stressed.
Good, good. Omar, what do you do if you don't want to go to work?
I can do that, teacher.
You can say it. Okay,
My
another one. Because
only
someone
my mind.
someone can watch your videos. So let's see. What do you do if you have a lot of things to do in one day? What do you do?
Um, if I if I What is the question?
What do you do if you have a lot of things to do in one day?
If I do a lot of things things in a day, uh, first I want to prioritize the things, um, and then I realize in the order in the specific order.
Realize means understand.
Mm,
In that case, I do.
I do. Sorry, I do.
I do. Good, Omar, good. So a good idea would be like to organize the activities according to priorities. Yes?
Okay.
Organize the activities according to priorities. Good. Now, Felix, are you driving?
Yes, teacher. I'm listen.
Okay. Felix, what do you do if the traffic light is in red? Felix?
If I using the
No, listen
hi
again.
hi. Listen. Okay,
What
okay.
what do you do if the traffic light is in red?
If I listen the music USB, change my favorite song.
Mm, okay, perfect, perfect. But if you are driving and you see the traffic light that is in red, what do you do?
Uh, if I stop and stay the green light.
I guess you have problem with connection, but I got your idea. So if the traffic light is in red, you stop. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Felix. Keep driving. So next one, Joshua. What do you do if you don't find your house keys?
Good evening.
Good evening.
If I don't find my kids, I ask my wife.
Good, good. That could be another idea because maybe she knows where they are. Good. Or if you have a copy of the keys, you take a copy of them.
Them,
Good.
but yes,
But in your case, first you ask your wife. Maybe she knows where
yeah,
they are. Perfect.
yes,
Good. Good. So this is zero conditional. Real things. Real things. When you see the traffic light, you stop. When you are stressed, you listen to music. It's real. This is not an imaginary situation. This is not for the future. Yes, it is real. Good. So this is the topic that we had yesterday. Now we are going to start with the attendance. This was just a little review before the topic that we have for today. And first person, Felix Ernesto Castellanos,
Present.
Josue,
Present.
present,
Mar
present.
Marlon,
Present.
Nancy is not here, Adolfo is not here, Omar,
Present.
David is not here, Francisco Gaitan is not here, Constantino,
Present.
Stan is not here, Edwin Mendez is not here, Manuel, we don't know, Juan is not here, Lisette is not here, Francisco Spire is not here. Roberto Zuniga.
Present, teacher.
All right. So what we have for today is really, really important. And today we have last topic in the unit and last topic in the level because tomorrow you have the final test. So that's why it was important to know if you could be in class today because it is the last one and you are only 6 right now. So I hope the other ones can join us later. I know some of you are working overtime and that is hard, but I hope you can be in every single class. So I will share the screen so that you can read the objective that we have for today. First person to read will be Marlon. Can you read the objective, please? Marlon?
Sorry.
Yes.
Objective.
Mhm.
To describe things that have or haven't happened.
Perfect. So you have to describe things that have or that haven't happened. How are you going to do it? Easy. You're going to use what, Roberto? What do you use to describe things that have happened or that haven't happened? Roberto?
The question is why?
No, what? What do you use to express that something has happened or that something hasn't happened?
The present perfect.
Perfect. So the answer is present perfect. Now, Constantino, what is the structure for the present perfect?
Is the subject,
Mhm.
auxiliar,
Which auxiliary?
have or has,
Perfect.
and
Have or has?
los verb in present perfect, los
The verb is
in
in
past,
past
in past,
participle.
past participles,
Mhm.
plus complement.
Perfect. So that is right. First, the subject, then the auxiliary. The auxiliary is going to be have or has, depending on the subject. Then you use the verb in the past participle. The verb is in the past participle. Together with have, they make the present perfect. Yes? And then the complement. Good. Now, this is something that we have studied in this level. And if you remember, we were saying the present perfect is for an action that is studied in the past and continues in the present. Or the action finished in the past, but we don't say when. Today we will see something a little bit different. We will use some words that are common when you use present perfect. So the first one, Marlon, can you read it, please? Marlon, I guess you're on mute.
Sorry. Just means a short time ago. We have just started this presentation.
Exactly. So when you hear the word just, can have two meanings. One means only, but in this case, it's like recent, that something recently happened. Like for example, when you see people, they got married and they travel in a car, and you will see that it says just married. Yes, recently married. So same thing is going to happen here. You will use this word that is just to express that something happened some seconds ago, recently. For example, you were saying we have just started this presentation. It started some seconds ago. Yes, similar to say recently. Now, second one. Let's see, Joshua, can you read, please?
Yes. Yet
Yes.
is used to talk about something which is expected to happen. It's mean at any time up to now.
Yes, continue.
Have you ever been to London yet? No, I haven't. No, I haven't been to London yet.
Can you repeat the first question?
Have you been to London yet?
Perfect. Okay. So when you use the expression yet, you're expressing that the action has not been completed up to this moment. Not up to this moment, maybe later, but not right now. Not up to this moment. This situation hasn't happened. And you will use it for questions and for negative sentences. Questions and negative. For example, I can ask, let's see, Omar, have you eaten dinner yet? Have you eaten dinner yet?
No, I haven't eaten dinner yet.
Perfect, Omar. So, in my question, I use yet. And Omar, in his answer, he said yet. Why? Because yet is for questions and for negative sentences. So, have you been to London yet? No, I haven't been to London yet. Maybe in the future, maybe one day, but up to this moment, I haven't done it yet. Yes? So, similar to something that I ask you when you are working in Paris, when you are working in some activities, I ask you, have you finished? And then you say, no, not yet. So, not yet is the word that you're using just to express the same thing, that you haven't finished yet. Yes? Now, next one. Let's see. Roberto, can you read it, please?
Already, it used to say that something has happened early or earlier than might have happened. I have already been to Brazil.
Okay, so let's check pronunciation, Roberto, and then you will read it again. The first word is already. Already, already. Then used.
Used to.
Used. Is used. Is used. Then the other word is happened. Happened, happened. And the last word is might. 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 So can you read already and the definition, please?
Already is used to say that something has happened early or earlier than it might have happened.
Good. For example,
I have already been to Brazil.
perfect. So this is how you use already when you want to express that something has happened. Yes, that you have already achieved that goal. Yes, so in this case, you did it, but you're not saying when the situation happened. Yes, now next one. This one is for Constantino.
Still is used to talk about something that hasn't finished, especially when we expected it to finish earlier. Example, the pizza we have ordered still hasn't arrived.
Okay, let's check pronunciation, Constantino. Used, then finished, then ordered, ordered. ordered. Don't pronounce the D. In ordered. Ordered, ordered. Ordered. And when you say expected, and then you have it, you say expected it, expected it, expected it. We expected it to finish earlier. So now, can you read it again?
Okay. It still is used to talk about
Used.
use. It still is used to talk about something that hasn't finished, especially when we expect it to finish earlier. The pizza we've ordered still hasn't arrived.
Okay, good. Thank you, Constantino. Now, the contraction, when you say we have, you say we've. We've ordered. Yes, the pizza we've ordered still hasn't arrived. So, this one is not very common, in the present perfect, but it exists. It is not very common, but it exists. Why not? Because if you say still needs to be before hasn't, and hasn't is negative. So for negative, we better use yet. Yes, you can use yet. Yet is more common than still. Still is very common in the simple present, in the simple past, in the future, but in the present perfect, still is not very common because instead of still, you can use yet. I'm just telling you because sometimes you can get confused using still because still is in positive sentences. Yes, it is in positive sentences in the present, in the past, in the future, but in the present perfect, it needs to be in a negative sentence, never in a positive sentence. So pay attention to it. Now, just trying to review them because there are 3 students that just entered, Stanley, Lisette, David. So just summarizing what we were saying. The other guys are going to help me to just try to remember what we said related to each word. So Joshua, with your own words, when do we use just? Try to express it with your own words.
Is when I want to express something what that happened in this moment right now.
Maybe not right now, but some seconds ago or some minutes ago. Yes?
Okay. Yes.
But good, you are right. So you use it to express something that happened some seconds ago, or some minutes ago. Yes? In other words, just is similar to say recently.
Teacher, and the expression is the just a minute, or that's just a matter.
Oh, so this is totally different. That's why I was saying at the beginning of the class that just can have 2 meanings. One meaning is similar to say only, and the other meaning is similar to say recently. For example, if I say I don't have many siblings. I just have a sister. It's similar to say I only have a sister. Or I don't work on weekends. I just work from Monday to Friday. It's similar to say, I only work from Monday to Friday. So in that case, the meaning is similar to say only. But in the present perfect, just is used to express that an action happened some seconds ago. For example, let's imagine that I see you on the street, and then say, hey David, would you like to eat some pupusas? And then you say, oh, I would like to, but I have just finished my dinner. It means that probably he's coming from a restaurant. So he finished his dinner some seconds ago, some minutes ago. So in that case, it's similar to say, I have recently finished my dinner. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Now, the second one. When do we use yet? Omar, with your own words.
Yet we use yet when we haven't done something.
Perfect.
For example, I haven't fixed my car yet.
Fixed or fixed?
Fixed.
Perfect. Now, can you repeat it?
Fixed.
I mean, the whole sentence?
I haven't fixed my car yet.
Thank you, Omar. That's a good example. Imagine that Omar had a little accident yesterday. So you want to go to the beach, and you say to Omar that you want to go to the beach with him. So you say, hey Omar, have you fixed your car yet? And then Omar says, no, I haven't fixed my car yet. Because he's a mechanic, so he can fix it, but he haven't fixed it yet because he's been a little bit busy. Yes? So it means that the action has not been completed. Not for the moment, but maybe later. It's similar, I was giving the example when I ask you, have you finished? And you say, not yet, teacher, not yet. So you're saying, I haven't finished yet. Not for the moment, but maybe later. Yes? And you use it for questions and for negative sentences. Now, next one, Marlon, already. Marlon, your microphone.
Sorry. That ready you use when you can say an action or describe an action when has happened.
Exactly. In this case, when you say already, you are describing that you did it. I completed the action. I have already eaten my dinner. And maybe someone is going to say, oh, I haven't eaten dinner yet. I'm hungry. So already you completed, yet you haven't completed for the moment, but maybe later. Maybe one day. And in the question, it is like that. You only want to know if the person has completed the activity. Yes? Now, still, when do you use still or how do you use still? Let's see, Constantino.
The still is not common, but is used and is used when the thing pretend finish, not pretend finish, but not finished in this moment. Like,
Exactly. So you haven't finished the activity yet, but you will do it. Not yet, but you will do it. So, as Constantino was saying, it still is not very common in present perfect. It is super common in the simple present, in the past, in the future. But in the present perfect, is not very common. Why not? Because it still is in the present, in the past, and in the future in positive sentences. And still in the present perfect can never be in a positive sentence. Still is going to be in a negative sentence. And if you have still in a negative sentence, why do you have yet? Oh, yet is more common than still. Simple like that. Yet is more common than still. Still is not that common, but it exists. And it needs to be next to a negative sentence only in the present perfect, because in the present, in the past, and in the future, it is always in positive sentences. For example, I always go to church and I still feel sad. Maybe you can say something like that. I always go to church, but I still feel sad. So it means that you continue with the problem, and it is a positive sentence. You can also say, maybe you broke up with your girlfriend 2 years ago, but you text her and you say, I still love you. It means that you continue loving that girl. Yes, I still love you. So you use it for positive sentences, but in the present perfect is only with negative. And the meaning will be similar to say yet, which is more common, yet, but still exists. So I'm just telling you, just in case you say it. Now, let's see some examples because we are going to work. Now, David and the other guys that connected some seconds ago, we are going to start with the first activity. So, David, can you read the sentence that is over there and then you tell me if you have to use still, already, yet, or just?
Okay. We have already bought our first car.
Maybe, but look at the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at the picture.
Yeah, it's bought the car.
Yes, but you can tell me we have already bought our first car, maybe if the action happened 2 days ago or some days ago. But look at the picture, they are over there.
Yeah, right now.
Not right now, but some seconds ago, because now they are receiving the keys.
We have yet bought. No,
Is yet for positive or for negative?
it's negative.
For negative in questions, but never for positive.
Okay. We have just bought our car.
Can you
First car.
repeat it?
We have just bought our first car. First car.
Boat or bought?
Sorry, bought.
Okay, repeat
We
the whole
have.
sentence.
Okay. We have just bought our first car.
Perfect. Now you're expressing we have recently bought our first car. And that is the correct one. Good job. Next one. Omar. Omar?
But I just checked 25 managers and the first grade. I think that is I already haven't found my wallet.
Is already for positive or for negative sentence?
It's positive.
So is this sentence positive or negative?
Already is positive.
Yes, but this sentence that you have in front of you
Like,
is positive or negative?
the sentence is negative, but
So you cannot use negative
yeah,
with positive.
okay, I get
No, because the position of yet is at the end of the sentence.
uh,
Yet is always at the end, never at the beginning. But there is another word similar to yet.
still I
Okay,
still haven't found my wallet.
perfect. You see, still is at the beginning and yet is at the end. Good. Next one. Stanley.
Have you done your homework already?
Already is for positive sentences, not for questions.
Have you done your homework yet?
Perfect. Yet is for questions and for negative sentences. Good. Next one. Nancy.
I have already driven a sports car. It was last year.
Good. Just a pronunciation. It is not driven, it is driven.
Driven.
Can you read it again?
I have already driven a sports car. It was last year.
Thank you. Next one. Constantino.
The workers have already arrived.
Yes, maybe when you don't see them, but you can see them, they are coming to you. Hey, and they say, hey, the workers have.
Just arrived.
Perfect. That is the answer because recently, some seconds ago. Next one, Roberto Zúñiga. Roberto?
I still haven't got the information.
Marlon?
She hasn't phoned me yet.
Good job. That is the correct answer. Next one. Um, let's see. Lisette is busy. Joshua.
No thanks, I haven't already had breakfast. I was early this morning.
The word is okay. It has to be already, but the pronunciation is I've. No, I haven't. It is I've. No, thanks.
I've.
No, can you repeat
Not
it?
them. No thanks. I've already had breakfast. It was early this morning.
We don't listen, teacher.
Oops, sorry. It's like when someone asks you, like, would you like to eat something like an apple? Would you like a pupusa? Would you like some donuts? And like that, and then say, no, thanks. I've already had breakfast. It was early this morning. Good. Now, next one. Omar. Omar? Is Omar here? No. Crespin?
I can see the last part of the sentence.
It says, silly,
Okay,
look at what you've done. And then, what now? Silly is like stupid. Look at what you've, and then done. What now? Because the person broke one of the mirrors or a window maybe. Or a picture.
yeah, you've just see, look at what you've just done.
What now?
What now?
And that is the correct one. So silly, look at what you've just done. Look at what you have recently done. What now? Next one, David.
I can't believe they still haven't finished that game.
Finish it or finished?
Finished
Okay,
that
so
game.
can you repeat it?
Okay. I can't believe they still haven't finished that game.
Okay, but now with fluency. With
Okay.
fluency.
I can't believe it they still haven't finished that game.
Game. That's better.
Game.
And the answer is correct. Good. Next one. Oops. Nancy.
Um, have you met anyone famous yet?
Good. Because it is a question, so you use yet. Next one. Stanley. Stanley?
In the second picture, the teachers have just prepared their lessons. They can change them.
Yes. That is one possibility. If they finished the activity some seconds ago or some minutes ago. Another option?
Already.
Perfect. Can you read it, Merlin?
The teacher have already prepared their lessons. They can change them.
So if you say already, that means that they probably prepared the class or the lesson some minutes, I don't know, before lunch, and now it's dinner. Or they prepared the class yesterday or 2 days ago, so the time is different. So you say already. Good. Next one. Let's see, Roberto Zúñiga. Roberto?
I guess they have just done that. Let's check.
Maybe. If that happened some seconds ago or some minutes ago. But if that happened yesterday or the day before yesterday, that they fixed my car, and then I tell you, I had a problem with my car, I went to a mechanic, and he said that they would change something to the
Right.
engine or to the tire or to any other thing. And then you say, I guess.
I guess they have already done that. Let's check.
Exactly. Good. Next one. Francisco Gaitan, can you participate?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, can you read the question and give me the answer too?
Have you been to Europe um, yet?
Mm-hmm.
The answer, not yet.
Perfect. So question with yet and negative with yet. Good. Next one. Let's see. Who's next? Nancy.
They still haven't learned how to use that app.
Perfect. Next one. Constantino.
Amazing. Her baby has just learned his first word.
Good. Because the kid is saying that word like that just 2 seconds ago, so you can say just learned and like that. So is it clear how to use those 4 words in the present perfect? Any questions that you have?
Yes, teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Could you repeat when can I use still, already, yet, and just?
Good. We were saying that just is when the action, well, someone in the class will help me repeating the information. First one was Joshua. He told us about just. When do you use just, Joshua?
When an action is happening in a few minutes.
Is happening or happened?
Happened. The action is happened in a few minutes.
The action happened few minutes ago.
In a short time.
Yes, the action happened short time ago, but in the past, not right now, not in the future. The action happened some seconds ago. For example, look at this. I can tell you, I've just closed the camera. I did it some seconds ago. It's similar to say recently. I have recently closed the camera. Yes? Or if I tell you, okay guys, don't complete the exercises in Schoology, and you say, no, teacher, I have just finished. I have just uploaded the documents. And you're saying that we don't have to complete them. You have to, by the way. You have to complete them. Unit number 3 and unit number 4. Week number 3 and 4. So that is when you use just. It means recently. Like, as I was saying at the beginning, when two people get married and they are traveling to the honeymoon, it says just married. Yes, recently married. Now, second one is going to be Roberto. When do you use yet?
We use yet to talk about something which is expected to happen. It means at any time up to now. It used in question and negative.
Exactly.
And negative answers.
Up to now.
Up to now.
So yet, you want to express it that you haven't done the activity for the moment. Up to this moment, you haven't, but maybe later you will. Yes? And you use it for questions and for negative. If I want to know if you have already completed an activity, I can ask you, Nancy, have you eaten dinner yet? Have you eaten dinner yet? And then you tell me, yes, I have already, or no, I haven't yet. So yet is for negative, already is to express that you have. And the last one, Constantino, when do you use still?
Still is used when something hasn't happened. For emphasis that we expected the things to happen earlier.
Exactly. So in other words, you expected that situation happened, but it never happened. Not for the moment. Maybe it is in process. For example, Joshua, have you completed the exercises in unit number 4? And then he says, no, teacher, I still haven't finished. I still haven't finished. This is similar to say, I haven't finished yet. And you can ask me, which is more common? I still haven't finished or I haven't finished yet? And the answer is, I haven't finished yet. Yet, that structure is more common than still. And you need to pay attention to the positions. Yet is at the end. Yes? So those are the definitions and examples. Another question? No? All right, so I will play a video, and in this video you are going to see how people are using the present perfect in their conversations. So let's watch it and pay attention to it. Take notes about the things that they have done, because later you're going to work in pairs and tell your classmate about it.
Marie, this is Ms. Novak. She's from Chicago. Marie is our receptionist.
It's nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you, too.
I'll get your tickets.
Thank you.
very familiar to me, Marie. Have we met before?
I don't think so, no.
Well, I never forget a face. I'm sure I know you from somewhere. I don't look familiar to you.
I'm sorry, no.
I know. We met in Chicago. You were a waitress in a restaurant near the Art Institute.
I've never been to Chicago.
Oh. Have you ever driven a taxi in Egypt?
No.
Oh, you were the pilot on a small airplane in China. You flew me over the Great Wall.
No.
Have you ever gone snorkeling in Australia?
No.
Driven a bus in Peru?
Ms. Novak, I'm quite sure we've never met before. I came here only a year ago from Paris.
Paris? Well, my sister Katerina lived there for a year.
Katerina? Katerina Novak?
Yes.
She lived with me.
Of course, you were in all the pictures she sent home.
What a coincidence.
You see, I never forget a face.
She never forgets a face, but she had to go all around the world just to discover who she was. Okay, so before entering with your classmate, did you check that they were using these words in the questions or in the answers, or no? Could you identify if they used these words in questions and answers, or they didn't use them? Francisco Aitan?
I couldn't hear you.
Oh, my question is, could you hear on the video that they were using the expressions still, yet, already, and just, or they didn't use them? That's my question. So,
I couldn't identify them.
can you repeat it, Francisco?
I couldn't identify them.
Okay, so who watched the video and can tell me if they used them or not?
For me, they using that words.
They used them or they didn't use them?
They didn't use them.
They didn't use them. Okay, yes, you're right. They didn't use them. Why? David?
I don't remember, teacher.
Who knows why they were not using still, yet?
Because process many times. Then she tried to remember.
Could be. Another reason why they were not using those words? Anyone else who knows the answer? Or who wants to give it a try? Who wants to guess?
Maybe because no say emphasize at the question.
Yeah, in some way they didn't emphasize. Good. Another idea? No?
The girls, they were speaking about experience.
Perfect. And Omar?
And it's not necessary the use of the yet, still, already.
Perfect, Omar. That is the answer. They didn't use them, and the reason is because they were talking about experience. And when you talk about experience, you don't use still, you don't use what is the other one? Yet, already. Maybe you can use them, but already, yet is when you want to know if the action has been completed or not. When you want to know about experience, what is the word that you use in the question?
Have you ever?
Perfect. That is a word that you use. Ever with the present perfect is for experience. Have you ever? And then in the answer, you can use probably, already, and yet, but not in the question. In the question, you will always have ever. Yes? And that's why you never heard yet in the question, even you had like 7 questions. Yes? And like that. Now I need that you work in pairs and you tell your classmate the activities that you remember the person was asking for or that the other person was given. Like, have you traveled to in the country? Or have you, and another activity, the ones that they mentioned on the video. So work in pairs and tell your classmates about it. So let me see, I will create the groups because there is one that is working. So in the first group, we are going to have Constantino and Francisco Gaitan. In the second one, David and Joshua. In the third one, Marlon and Nancy. In the next one, Omar, Roberto Zuniga, and Stanley. Then Felix and Lisette will be listening to you all because they are driving and working. So enter and tell your classmates the activities that you heard on the video. Enter right now.
Okay, so have you ever traveled in this year?
No, not this year. I traveled to US 5 years ago.
Okay, but the activity, Constantino, is just to tell your classmate the activities that the 2 girls mentioned on the video.
Okay.
They used some questions in the present perfect. They used some sentences in the present perfect. So what do you remember they said?
Okay. For example, teacher, I have the I have to do a question for the video. For example, the in the conversation, say, have you ever
driven?
Have you ever taxi driven?
Have you ever driven a taxi?
Driven a taxi. Okay.
Yes, like that.
Okay.
So
Okay.
all the things that they mentioned on the video.
Okay. Okay.
one sentence they say was, have you ever have you ever been in Chicago?
Perfect.
Yeah.
And the other was
Me too.
I remember they said about Paris, but I don't remember exactly what. Teacher, I need the video again.
It was easy. It was short and easy. You don't remember what they said about France?
Or Peru?
Peru.
Who?
Well, about France because one of the girl's sister lived in France.
With the other girl.
Well, they are living now together. So that was the reason why she was asking for that country. And other things that you remember she was asking for?
I remember that one girl asked her to other, have you ever driven a taxi? More or less. Driven a taxi.
Exactly, driven a taxi. That's one. Good. You can also take notes because in 1 minute we are going to go back and we are going to say how many you got and how many the other groups got. So you can take notes about it.
Okay.
I got driving a taxi. I think that driving a taxi too.
Driven.
Okay, driven a taxi.
That was one.
We have a bad memory, teacher.
And you are three.
Remember, the problem was we were focused on the jet already still in the work.
But I said present perfect.
Yes, no. When we was watching the video, we was focused on.
We were.
Focus on listen the word. Yes.
Okay, but how many do you have? 3, 2, 1?
We have 3.
Oh, but that's okay because they mentioned 5.
We remember the question was, have you been like addressed in a restaurant or have you worked? Have you been working?
Have you worked at a restaurant?
Yes. Have you been living in Chicago?
Have you been to Chicago?
How you drive?
Driven.
Have you driven a bus?
Oh, it's not a bus.
Peru? I don't know.
In Peru, teacher don't say a bus.
Or travel to Peru.
Have you traveled to Peru? Okay, so we are going to go back to main station. We are going to see the words that you said, and then we are going to double check the answers watching the video.
Yeah.
So let's go back to main station. And the other guys, they're still talking. How many answers do you find with your classmates? How many sentences? Francisco?
Three sentences.
2.
Oh,
Okay. So I guess most of you are between 2 and 3. Let's see, Roberto Zúñiga, who was your partner?
David,
And how many do you...
David, Omar and Stanley, excuse me.
How many sentences do you get?
3. We think we had 3
Sentences.
sentences.
Good.
Yeah.
Nancy? Enjoy your meal, by the way.
Thank you. With Marlon, we had 2 sentences.
Okay, 2. Constantino, who's your partner?
Francisco Gaitán and Lisette.
And he said, you got 2, they said. Joshua and David. How many do you get?
2, I remember.
Okay, so now you got 2 and 3. So let's see,
Teacher,
David.
one more time the video.
Yes, we will play it later, but I need that you tell me right now the ones that you remember. So tell me one.
He never been at Chicago.
He or she?
She never been at Chicago.
But you need an auxiliary.
He never.
You will never say she
No,
never.
she still.
No,
Why?
you need an auxiliary. Auxiliary, present perfect.
She is.
What is the auxiliary in present perfect, Joshua?
She never have been.
No, have is not for she.
She's never has been.
She never has is not possible. First is the auxiliary.
Had.
First is the auxiliary and then never.
Okay. And she have never.
You don't say have for she.
Has.
Yes.
She has never been
to
Chicago.
Perfect. That is 1. Now, Joshua, tell me the second one that you have.
The other was a question when she asked, have you ever been in Chicago? And the other was the answer.
Okay. So one question was, have you ever been to Chicago? And the answer was, I have never been to Chicago.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Good. Stanley, tell me one.
She asked if she have drive a bus on Peru, remember? Something like that.
Drive or driven?
Driven. Bus.
Okay. Another one, Nancy?
Have you ever driven a taxi?
Driven a taxi. Okay. Francisco Gaitán?
She has never worked like a waitress.
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 Okay. Have you ever worked as a waitress? Good. All right. So now we are going to check if your ideas are correct or not. We are going to watch a video again. And now you can verify those that you have. Let's watch it.
Marie, This is Ms. Novak. She's from Chicago. Marie is our receptionist.
It's nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you, too.
I'll get your tickets.
Thank you. You look very familiar to me, Marie. Have we met before?
I don't think so, no.
Well, I never forget a face. I'm sure I know you from somewhere. I don't look familiar to you.
I'm sorry, no.
I know. We met in Chicago. You were a waitress in a restaurant near the Art Institute.
I've never been to Chicago.
Oh. Have you ever driven a taxi in Egypt?
No.
Oh, you were the pilot on a small airplane in China. You flew me over the Great Wall.
No.
Have you ever gone snorkeling in Australia?
No.
Driven a bus in Peru?
Ms. Novak, I'm quite sure we've never met before. I came here only a year ago from Paris.
Paris? Well, my sister Katerina lived there for a year.
Katerina? Katerina Novak?
Yes.
She lived with me.
Of course, you were in all the pictures she sent home.
What a coincidence.
You see, I never forget a face.
Okay, now what are they? They were 5. So tell me one. Tell me one.
He has driven a taxi.
Have you driven a taxi?
Have you ever been in Chicago or lives in Chicago?
Have you ever been to Chicago? But I guess it wasn't a question. It was in the answer.
I had never been in Chicago.
I have never been to Chicago.
To Chicago.
Good. That's the second one. Another one.
Have you ever gone to Australia?
Oh, you're close. Have you ever gone snorkeling? Snorkeling in Australia. Have you ever gone snorkeling in Australia? Good. Another one. No.
Have you a pilot in a small flying in the jet?
No, using present perfect. Only the ones that they used present perfect. No?
How we met before?
Perfect. Have we met before? That was the first question. Good. Thank you, Roberto. So those are the questions that you have. Now you're going to ask your classmates, but I need that you emphasize on both things. Experience and things that you need to have completed probably by some time in the future, or that you know that they need to have them completed. Just to give you an example. Experience. Constantino, have you ever stolen money?
Yes, I have.
Now tell me what happened.
Excuse me?
Now tell me what happened. Because I asked you, have you ever stolen money? And then you said, yes, I have. So tell me what happened. Tell me your experience.
And I was crazy because I stolen the, 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 the money, and not only money, uh, um, uh, a cell phone too, a watch, and
Is that real? Is that real, Constantino?
the question is si me robaron en Spanish.
No, have you?
Yo,
Have you?
no. Not the kid, I haven't.
Okay, and everyone in the class was like, not only
No,
money, a cell phone.
no. I haven't.
Okay.
Ajá,
I never have.
Constantino.
Okay, good. So my question was, have you ever stolen? Have you ever
Yeah.
stolen money? So, Constantino?
No, I never.
I have never.
I have never stolen money.
Perfect. Now, let's imagine that is the opposite. Have you ever been stolen? This is different. This is what you understood, but I didn't say that. Have you ever been stolen? Have you ever been stolen? I will type it so that you can see it. Now, you can give me the answer, Constantino, what you were saying. Have you ever been stolen?
Yes, I stolen. No,
I have been.
I have been stolen money and my cell phone and a watch and
Okay.
in the bus.
On the bus.
On the bus.
Good. Thank you, Constantino. Probably in the conversation that you will have with your classmates, probably you can give more information. Oh, yes, I have. I have been stolen many times. I remember last time I was on the 101D bus and I was passing by Metro Centro when suddenly two guys entered or get on the bus and they started asking for money, cell phones, and all things of value. So I lost my cell phone there, my wallet with money, this, and this. Yes? So you start talking a little bit more. Now, this is about experience. So you can say, have you ever to know about experience. Second one, you will emphasize on activities to know if your classmate has already completed some activities. For example, I know that most of you are mechanics, so you know that you need some licenses that you need to get. Let's imagine, I don't know about the licenses, but I imagine that one of those licenses is AA, I don't know, 2, for example. I'm just improvising because I don't know the names. But I can ask Omar because he's a mechanic. Omar, have you gotten the AA2 yet? Let's imagine that this is a license. And then Omar answers, yes, I have already gotten the AA2. Or, no, I haven't gotten the AA2 yet because I need to do a test and I'm not ready for it. Yes? Obviously, you know the kind of licenses that you need to get, so you can ask your classmates about them. Or, have you had an interview in English yet? You say, no, I haven't yet, but I think that it will be next week. Yes? Have you uploaded the exercises on Schoology yet? And then you say, yes, I have already, or no, I haven't yet. And then you tell why and like that. So that will be the main point. I don't know if you have any questions about it. Questions? No? Okay, let me see if it is true. Nancy, are you going to talk only about experience, only about actions that have to be finished, or both?
Experience.
Only about experience.
No, the both.
Ah, okay. You need to talk about both things, experience and activities that have to be finished. Using yet and already. Roberto Zúñiga, do you have to use will in the questions?
No, I haven't to use. Or no, we haven't to use.
We don't have to use. We don't have to use.
No, we don't have to use.
Okay, what do you have to use, Roberto?
Yet, already, simple present.
Simple present. Do you...
Present perfect.
Ah, present perfect. So this is what you have to do right now. Use present perfect to ask about experience and also about actions that have to be finished. And you want to know if your classmate has already finished that action or not. So first, Per, Constantino, and David. The second one, Felix and Joshua. Next one, Marlon and Omar. Next one, Nancy and Roberto Zúñiga and Lisette. Lisette will be listening to you. Francisco Gaitan and Stanley. So enter and ask your classmates about experiences and if they have already finished some activities or responsibilities at the work.
Still
And just,
and just. Yeah.
and yet.
And just.
Okay. Teacher is the all thing my life with my life.
It's not about, well, it's about experience using have you ever or any activity that has to be finished and you want to know if your classmate has already completed that activity.
Teacher, I need contestar.
Answer.
I need answer.
I need to answer. I need to answer.
I need to answer a call to my boss in Teams in this moment.
Okay, answer it. I will practice with David.
Okay.
When you finish, you can return.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
Okay, David, I will ask you, then you give me the answers. David, have you ever traveled by plane?
Yeah, yes, I have traveled in airplane.
Travel
in airplane.
Uh-huh.
It's the first time it's in my job because I fixed this airplane and I choose my boss. I choose and I went to the flight. It's a good experience because first I fixed this airplane and next I first for fly. Never I have never been fly.
I have never flown.
I have never flown. It's a good experience.
You have never flown? Is that what you wanted to express?
Yes.
Because I'm asking you if you have ever traveled by plane.
Travel or fly in the airplane.
Okay,
Yeah.
but you have never flown an airplane.
Yeah. I never
Okay.
flown,
Uh-huh.
but
I have never flown an airplane. You need to mention like that.
yeah. I have never flown in airplane.
No in airplane. Because if you travel, you are using an airplane to travel.
Yeah, but
So
I
you have never flown an airplane.
uh yeah, I flown an airplane never. Been travel.
I have never
I have
flown
never. I have never. Sorry, I have never flown
an airplane.
an airplane.
Okay, good.
Travel, yes, but in the only in the car in another country, yes, but in flight, never. I have never flown.
Okay, good. Now, have you ever forgotten an important birthday?
Yeah, I have. I have. I have forget. I
Forgotten.
have. I have forgone an important birthday. It's it's better for my mom. Uh, one once twice una vez
Once.
once in this moment I forget the birthday because I have a busy
I
in
was
the
busy.
I was busy in the university
Hmm.
and I slept early. I went go to university.
I went to university.
I went to university and all the day no talk no took with my mom
I
and
didn't talk. I didn't talk.
sorry I didn't talk with my mom and you return my home and the Paris surprise with my brothers and I forget
I
uh,
forget or I forgot.
I forgot and I remember and I remember but forgot my birthday month.
My mom's birthday.
My mom's birthday.
You need to practice, David. You need to
Yeah.
practice to express the order of the words, and you need to practice on tenses. You need to identify what you are talking about. Are you talking about something that is every day, or are you talking that happened about something that happened in the past?
In this question, I will talking about
I will talk.
I will talk about the past.
Okay, so you cannot use the present.
Yeah. Because forget
Forget is
forgot
present.
forgot the birthday my mother the birth of the birthday mother
My
birthday
my mother's birthday. My mother's baby.
my mother's birthday.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now next question.
Yeah.
Have you eaten dinner yet? Have you eaten dinner yet?
I have eat dinner yet. It's
No,
correct.
I couldn't hear you because I guess you had problem with connection. But can you repeat it?
Okay. I have yet dinner. I have eating dinner yet.
I have or I haven't.
I haven't
So
dinner
I
yet.
haven't
Dinner. Eat dinner.
eaten.
Eaten dinner yet.
I haven't eaten dinner yet.
Yeah.
You need to hear what the person is asking you in the question and you answer with that information. My question was, have you eaten dinner yet? And you say, no, I haven't eaten dinner yet. There is a person that is alone. So you're going to work with that person. Just give me a sec.
Okay.
Because I need to verify. That person is Nancy. So I will send you
Teacher.
to work with Nancy. Yes?
Okay, okay, but question. In this case, what you ask, never been, es que no he hecho. A eso se refiere.
The thing is that I can ask you about things that you have done any day in your life and things that I want to know if you have already finished. Experience, have you ever stolen money? Have you ever traveled by plane? Have you ever taken a picture of an animal? Experience. Actions that you finished. Have you eaten dinner yet? Have you completed the activities in the school yet? Have you studied all the verbs in the past participle yet? In that case, it is not experience. I just want to know if you have finished those activities.
Yeah. Have you studied the bird?
So work with Nancy. Go and work with Nancy.
Okay.
I say the answer. The answer is yes. I have been in Santa Ana.
You went?
I went with my family. This is the past, simple past. I went with my family and some friend. Was in my last vacation. I visited the volcano. I went a good restaurant. The food was very delicious, but I remember that my father didn't like because the meat didn't like it because
I didn't like
he
meat.
said yes, I didn't like meat because the meat was very how do you say, teacher, salada, comida salada?
Because the meat was salty.
Salty, thank you.
But
Because the meat was salty.
meat is general. Meat is chicken, fish, beef. So
was the
beef,
the
maybe.
beef, yes.
Okay.
Salty. The beef was very salty.
To complete 5 years.
And have you received a gift or for your
No. Because only for 5 or 10 years, when you get a gift is when you have a 5 or 10 years. I don't know.
I think that
Good evening, Adolfo.
Hi, teacher. Good evening.
What happened to you?
Sorry for entering late.
You're going to work with Roberto Zuniga.
Okay.
Just give me a second. Okay, what they are doing right now is that they are working in pairs, and they are asking questions with have you ever this, and this, and this to know about their experience, but also they are using already and yet. Yes, yet is for questions and for negative sentences, and already is for positive. What you want to express is that you have already completed an activity. For example, have you eaten dinner yet? Have you eaten dinner yet? And then you tell me, yes, I have already eaten dinner. Or no, I haven't eaten dinner yet, but I will eat dinner after class. Yes? So work with your classmates and ask and answer those questions. So Roberto, work with Adolfo. Enter right now.
Okay.
Okay, another question. Have you seen the Izalco?
Have you?
Have you seen the Izalco volcano, Izalco volcano?
Yes, I saw the Izalco volcano 2 years ago because I was at Cerro Verde with my mom.
Okay.
And it's next to the Cerro Verde. Okay, another question, David.
Have you ever teacher, how do you say subirte un bote a un velero?
Have you ever ridden, yes, have you ever ridden a boat in that case?
Have you ever ridden a boat?
But reading is manejar.
That you go on the boat, or have you ever traveled by boat?
Travel by boat.
Yes, I travel in a boat. I don't remember when, but it was at Bahía Jiquilisco in Usulután.
Tell us what happened.
How do you say gritar?
Scream?
I screams a lot. But it was very beautiful.
The sea, the view.
Yes, and I swam in the bahía.
Bay.
In the bay.
I swam the bay.
Yeah.
Bay.
And I met the casco de borra is just like concha.
Shells.
Shells, yeah.
Shell. Shell. Is the name for the gas station.
Yes.
Shell. Yeah, shell is a delicious seafood, but casco de burro is a big.
Better. It's better.
Yeah, it's a better.
But shell is what covers the food. Inside you have oysters. Like oysters are inside, like the food. Shell is what covers the food.
Yeah, shell is concha.
Exactly.
But then
oyster is what you eat. You eat oysters.
Yes. You eat oyster.
I thought what you were saying, Nancy, was casco. I imagine that was something physical, like hard.
It's a big shell.
Really?
Yes,
Yeah, teacher. It's famous.
Yes.
I have never heard about it.
It's the for the plant my hand the better.
It's the size of your hand.
Yeah, it's the size. Yeah, it's the size for my hand. It's a better shell.
It's a good oyster.
It's a good oyster. It's a good oyster. Okay.
Or clams. You can say clams, I guess is the word, but clams are the small ones. That one that you're saying that is like the size of your hand, I'm not pretty sure about if they really exist, like in English or something like that, because I don't like seafood. I only like fish.
Ah, okay.
But this is the first time that I hear that something like that
Yeah.
exists. But good to know it. Okay.
Okay.
Now ask David.
Okay, David, have you ever been in the hospital?
Klein de Pital.
No, been. Or crime.
Right. No, I have never climbed the Pital.
But you have
Travel.
been to El Pital.
No.
Oh,
Never. I have never.
I have never.
I have never climbed the Pital.
Hmm.
Oh, I have never. Another words, Nancy?
Been
I never. I have never been the Pital.
to El Pital.
To El Pital.
The hospital.
I have a opportunity because I don't win.
Hmm?
I don't go.
I didn't go.
Sorry, I didn't go.
David, you need to
Because
practice.
I didn't go. Okay.
Because what?
Because I have a work.
I have to work.
I have to work.
Okay, last question.
Have you ever I don't know. Don't know. Have you
David.
ever
No, go ahead, Nancy.
Have you ever
Traveled.
to another country?
Yes, I have. I have traveled another country. And the country is Guatemala. I went and a Paseo Cayala in Antigua, Guatemala. In the travel, I went my car. I drove my car, and I have tired.
I felt tired.
I felt tired, but
Tired.
I felt tired. But the country, it's good for the Paseo Cayala. It's good. Only country.
That was the only country.
That was only country.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Let's go back to main station. Francisco Aitan, you're always the first one coming back. All right, guys. Just a little suggestion before leaving. It is really, really important for you to know the past participle of the verbs. Yes, you need to know them because sometimes you stop because you don't know the verb in the past participle or you are not pronouncing the verbs like they have to be. Remember that I sent to you an application to the WhatsApp group that you can use. In that application, you have the verbs in the present, in the past, and the past participle. Obviously, if they are regular verbs, you pronounce the same in the past and the past participle. But if they are irregular, they are completely different. So you have to know the pronunciation. I also send you 2 videos. one with the pronunciation in the present past and the past participle in a normal way, and I sent you a second video with a person who was singing rap with the verbs in the present, in the past, and the past participle. So you decide how you want to learn those verbs. Do you want to learn by following with the correct way of the pronunciation? Do you want to learn it singing? You can do it too. Yes, but do it. Now, second thing, before leaving, you need to complete the activities in Schoology for week number 3 and week number 4. Everything. Foro evaluado and entrega de ejercicios. Yes? In entrega de ejercicios in the week number 4, you are missing the second activity because the first one is the one that you completed on the weekend. The second activity is about zero conditional. So complete them and you upload the picture with the score, only the picture with the score. And in the foro evaluado, you have 3 questions. What do you do if, what do you do when, and what do you do if? Remember that the question is about you. So you have to answer if I, not if you. Yes? And the last one, number 3. Tomorrow is our last day of class. We finish classes tomorrow. We finish the level tomorrow too. So all the activities need to be completed by tomorrow. Yes? There is no more time, so you have to work on them. Now, I will share the screen so that you can say present when you hear your name.
Teacher, I have you.
A doubt.
A doubt. Yes. You are talking about the complete all activities in psychology.
Schoology.
Psychology. But
Yes.
my question is about the foro evaluado.
Mm-hmm.
I remember we did 2 or 3 activities in the units in group. My question is, we have to do personally that, so because I was checking that and I don't know.
No, the thing is that when you work in groups, those activities are just to practice. So the only activities that are evaluated individually is foro evaluado is evaluated, entrega de ejercicios is evaluated, and exams and oral presentations. So the one that says guía de trabajo is not evaluated. It's just for you to practice. Yes, and you always have it in class, like in groups, because it is just to practice. That is not evaluated. Yes.
Okay.
Good. So you're welcome. First person, Felix.
Present.
Joshua.
Present, present.
Marlon.
Present.
Adolfo.
Present.
Nancy.
Present.
Omar.
Present.
David. Well, he's there. Francisco Gaitan.
Present.
Constantino. Well, Constantino was there. Stanley.
Present.
Edwin is not here. Manuel is not here. Juan is not here. Lisette. Present. Francisco Spire is not here. Roberto Zuniga.
Present.
All right. So that's all for now. We are going to continue tomorrow. Remember to complete the activities in the Schoology. Week number 3 needs to be completed. Week number 4 needs to be completed too. Yes, up to tomorrow. So thank you for being there. I see you tomorrow. Have a good night. Bye, guys. And study for the final test. That is tomorrow too. Yes. Bye-bye, guys.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.